Alright, we're recording?
Yeah, we're good.
Are we ready?
You want me to drive for you?
Well, I have some notes on here. So, go ahead and start.
Whenever you're ready.
Alright, if we can have your attention, please. Team 4 is about to get going. The Holopenos. Pinos. No, Holo?
No, because Hololens.
And Google wouldn't let me do the squiggle. Yeah, Google, I tried. Google wasn't having it. So just assume that the squiggle's over there with the jalapenos.
Here, just draw it on. Just draw it on.
Yeah, just draw it on. All right. So our project, what we're going to talk about today is the Microsoft Hololens. It's pretty much the most advanced technology out there right now as far as augmented reality goes. We just heard a topic about virtual reality. So now you're going to hear something about augmented reality, which is totally different. It's totally cooler. All right. So augmented reality, the Microsoft HoloLens, it's the future of technology. It's the future of interaction with, how we interact with, technology, with the internet, with each other. This is what everybody's going to be doing in 10, 20 years from now. It's while you have virtual reality, which is good for like leisure time, which is good for playing video games and fucking around. Yeah.
I feel offended.
Sorry? Well, the Microsoft
competition.
Well, the Microsoft HoloLens can be used for practical applications, for professional applications. What it does is it takes the world around you and it puts computers into your actual world. So again, whereas virtual reality will change everything around you, so you go from being in a room to being anywhere else, to being in a video game, being on a mountaintop. Augmented reality will put the stuff in your environment. So imagine having a virtual television that's just it's on the wall, it's on there all the time. You take the glasses off, there's nothing there, put them on, boom, TV, and you can resize it as big as you want. You can do just really anything with it. It allows you to interact with them in the real world. So you can go down the hallway, check your Facebook stats, check your NASDAQ reports or whatever, do anything as you're walking around. And let's see, that's the next slide. Boom. We got some stuff I wanted to show you here. A real quick video.
Microsoft HoloLens brings holograms into your real world. Using transparent lenses, spatial sound, and an understanding of your environment, holograms look and sound like they're actually part of the world around you. That is mixed reality. With Microsoft HoloLens, holograms are viewed through the holographic frame centered in the middle of your view. This preserves your peripheral vision, so you can move freely and connect and collaborate with the people around you. Holograms in mixed reality don't block out what you can see and hear. This enables you to engage with digital content and tools alongside the objects in your real world. Holograms can be world-locked in a physical location, so you can walk around them, or they can travel with you. You can even hear them in 3D with spatial sound. Microsoft HoloLens is the world's first fully untethered, self-contained holographic computer. With the mixed reality experience of HoloLens, you can stay in the real world and interact with real people as you simultaneously explore 3D in 3D.
Nice. And then I got one more video for you. So this is an example of what can be done in a professional application. got those big ass glasses.
Just a blue collar mechanic with $5,000 AR on him. Like,
Yeah, see, so that's just one of the small application for professional applications that the Hololens can be used for. As you saw, he was getting his information real time for how much to torque the nuts onto the tire, and so it eliminates the possibility of him putting it to a wrong torque and something going wrong. It's fully integrated into his workflow. Just imagine, I mean, there was probably a lot of stuff we weren't seeing, but imagine in the future, that could be an entire process just showing you put this to this, now screw it, now put that here, and just it allows you to do any job just as it directs you how to do it, while it's being done. So you just think this is where we're at right now. It's a pretty big headset, just like the VR headsets. They're pretty big, so they're not something where you can probably feasibly just walk around town wearing one because you'd look really weird. But think in 10 years, 20 years from now, if this is where we're at, these things might even be as in regular size glasses or like contact lenses, and in 20 years. So this is just the beginning, just the step. And I wanted to show you one more thing for my part. Boom. Who's into football right now, if you like watching football, well, the NFL has been in talks to develop programs with the HoloLens to give you stuff like showing you players' 3D stats. You could check out all their information. They're talking about maybe rendering game replays in 3D, so you could see a replay on your table, see it happens. I mean, one day they might even project an entire football game in this holographic environment, so you could turn an entire table into a football field and be there with your buddies instead of watching it on TV. You're just like right there, like holy shit, like watching it on the table, And that's kind of the next, one of the next steps. It can only get cooler and get further from here, and all in the real world.
Nice.
So
Can you just push right arrow? Does that work?
I don't know. All right.
Go ahead,
Anthony,
Anthony.
you're up. You want to?
What's up, guys? I'll be talking about the hardware and spatial sound.
You want me to drive for it?
Yes, please. Oh yeah, the arrow does work.
Cool.
So a new way to see your world. Holograms are the next evolution in computing. With this vision in mind, hardware, software, design came together to create the first fully self-contained holographic computer. Science fiction becomes science fact. Microsoft HoloLens is made up of specialized components that together enable holographic computing. The optical system that works in lockstep with advanced sensors. The HPU then makes legit work of processing a large amount of data per second. All those components and more enable you to move freely and interact with holograms. Designed for comfort, the headband is designed like a performance car with great weight distribution for a comfortable fit. Weight is distributed around the crown of your head, saving your ears or nose from undue pressure.
That's what that band is right there.
Yeah, that freaking overhead strap. Adjustable fit, the adjustable wheel and the headband ensures a comfortable fit for a wide range of adult head sizes. So there are steps to wear this headset. First, rotate the headband up, slide the headband down, turn the adjustment wheel to extend the headband, put the HoloLens on your head to slide the visor in until the nose pad rests lightly on your nose. Make sure the headband sits level on your forehead, just below your hairline with the device arms above your ears. Turn the adjustment wheel to tighten the headband until it fits. The overhead strap, see right here, it can help the HoloLens secure on your head, particularly if you're like moving around a lot, you know, shaking your head, or like any of you like metalheads like to fucking headbang. Well, scratch that. Maybe you don't headbang because you'll never know if it's gonna fall off. If you want to like headbang really hardcore, I mean, you're gonna like break $5 grand of those lenses. So yeah, maybe you should not headbang. Next slide. Powered in grays, containing more computing power than the average laptop. Microsoft HoloLens is passively cooled without fans, with no wires, external cameras, or phone or PC connection required. You can move freely and self-contained. So this is the sensor fusion. Advanced sensors capture information about what you're doing and the environment you're in. Microsoft HoloLens can see, map, and understand the physical places, spaces, and things around you. Advanced optics, see-through holographic high-definition lenses use an advanced optical projection system, generating multi-dimensional full-color images with very low latency, so you can see holograms in your world. The HPU, holographic processing unit, is custom silicon that processes a large amount of data per second from the sensors. Microsoft HoloLens understands gestures and where you look and maps the world around you all in real time. Spatial sound. So using a scientific model that characterizes how the human ear receives sound from a specific location, Microsoft HoloLens synthesizes our sound so that you can hear holograms from anywhere in the room. So this is the built-in speakers. Precise audio experience without headphones that is immersive yet won't block out the real world. So visuals, the HoloLens visuals are justly getting most of the pre-launch hype, but sound plays just as important of a role in creating immersion in your mixed reality. Effects, the effect could be as simple as hearing the sound of a spray can hissing when you change the color on one of your models in Holo Studios, or ducking the object being hurled your way from behind. The sound, the headset can play sound in 360 degrees, so you can hear holograms that aren't in your field of vision. The holograms will emit sound based on their position as well as their depth. A hologram that's further away will be quieter than one of the that's near to you, all you have to do is assign sounds to your holograms, and Hololens will be able to figure out the rest itself. And I added a video for spatial sound.
Yes, it's a mirrored, so you have to go to, move your mouse to the,
This one?
that screen? Go right?
Oh.
Go right? Don't click it.
Oh.
Developers can use spatial sound to make the mixed reality experience of HoloLens even more immersive. While holograms can only appear visually in front of the user, sounds can come from all directions, creating a 360-degree world of holograms. Use Unity to attach sounds to an object, and then spatial sound will make it seem like those sounds are coming directly from that object. The sounds will be adjusted for the direction and distance the hologram is from the user. Spatial sound can also be effective in getting the user's attention. A sound can indicate the direction to turn to, or let the user know that there are more holograms around them in the world. Spatial sound greatly enhances the HoloLens sensory experience by making your imaginary worlds more complete.
It's pretty balling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just wanna exit out of that.
Exit out of this guy?
Yeah. And then full screen now. Come on. What are you doing now?
I don't know what I'm doing. What is it doing? Don't I click on that? The arrows? What? When you did it, it worked.
It didn't work. WTF, man.
And just to like talk about what Anthony was saying was there's like 5 cameras on the inside of the thing, and it's reading the room you're in real time all the time. So like with the virtual reality thing, I didn't realize you had to have the 2 things that like mapped your room for you.
Yeah.
But in a sense, they're doing the same thing, but they're in the one unit. Yeah.
With the Vive, it doesn't actually necessarily map your room. What you do
Why isn't
is
it going
you
anymore?
set up the 2 sensors, and then when you calibrate what space you want to use, you actually can trace the controller on the outer
Boom,
edges,
done.
and it will kind of just form a cube.
Oh.
The Vive does have a singular camera on the front of the
Is that
headset,
what we're-
but it's actually pretty low quality. I was kind of disappointed in it. You can
Next slide.
you can put a little viewer on your controller, so you can hold up your controller and see out in the real world, but it's definitely nowhere near as sophisticated as what that's going to be.
Yeah, right?
Alright, so I'll be discussing the controls of it and how it works. You can either control it with the Xbox remote like you saw, or this little tiny remote. So you basically put the clicker, slide the loop over your ring middle finger, and then with the micro USB port to your wrist, and then just rest your thumb as indicated. It's hard to see, but there's a little button, so that's
Like a little indentation.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And then this is adjustable, the elastic finger loop, just put your middle finger in or thumb so it's comfortable. The clicker gestures are small wrist rotations, not the larger movements used for HoloLens and hand gestures. And HoloLens will recognize your gestures and clicks, even if the clicker is outside the gesture frame, which is pretty cool that it recognizes it out of the frame and not just like only in the frame.
Yeah, so you can be like, have your clickers down here by your side, and it'll still work. You don't have to be like,
Doesn't have to see them.
yeah.
Yeah, next slide. So basically these are some functions to select the hologram button or other elements, gaze at it and then click. So anything in the room you want to select. Click and hold your thumb on the bottom to do some of the same things as you would with tap and hold, like move or resize a hologram. To scroll on the app bar, select scroll tool, click and hold, then rotate the clicker up, down, left, or right. To scroll faster, move your hand further from the center of the scroll tool. To zoom on it, you're just gonna select the zoom tool and the main options or whatever. And then click and hold, then rotate the clicker up and to zoom down or out. Some of the indicator lights when you're setting up Bluetooth and pairing it. Blinking white light means the clicker is in pairing mode, so you're good to go. Fast blinking white is pairing with successfully. Solid white, the clicker is charging. Blinking amber, battery is low. Solid amber, the clicker ran into an error and you need to like restart it or fix it. Yeah, next slide. And some videos I thought were pretty interesting. It showed what you saw in the other video of the game with the aliens coming out of the wall. He was playing it with the Xbox remote, but in this video you'll see that he's like using his hands and everything. And I'm sorry, the next video was
It's not. Oh, okay. Do you want me to stop this one?
No.
I know it's like so pretty awesome, right? You can play and have like a little character, just like walking around in your room or whatever.
Yeah, you can do this and.
Thanks, Terry. Today, we're excited to show you mixed reality gaming on Hololens. Specifically, how Hololens can turn every room of your house into a personalized video game level. Now, to do that, we're going to be showing you a game codenamed Project X-Ray. We also have this custom camera that can see a full view of every hologram. Dan sees all the holograms he's looking at, but this camera will show you all of the action on stage. Now, Project X-Ray is a game that can be played in any room, but today Dan's going to be playing it here, and you're going to see him defend this stage from a mixed reality robot invasion. Previously, we've shown you how HoloLens can place amazing holograms in your world, and how those holograms can interact with the environment around you. But today, we want to take mixed reality one step further. So we've got something new to show you. Holograms you can hold. This holographic gauntlet is the weapon that Dan will be using while playing Project X-Ray. You'll notice that as he moves his arm, the hologram moves as well. This is a wearable hologram. And when you combine technology like this with the environment understanding of HoloLens, you can do some pretty spectacular things. Nice. All right, let's battle some robots. With HoloLens, you're completely untethered, which means Dan is free to move around as he shoots at enemies and avoids their fire. With HoloLens, the action happens all around you. And thanks to spatial sound, you'll hear the gameplay as though it's happening in your room. You'll notice that the robots know where the walls and the furniture are, and they can use that knowledge to navigate and plan attacks against you. Since each room is unique, every game is customized to you. That didn't work. What else you got?
Vortex mode.
Holograms behave just like real objects. They can interact with the environment and with each other. For larger enemies with more powerful weapons, Dan can even use his shield to defend himself. Nicely done. Looks like that's all of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like Mega Man. Next one. Oh, cool. Baker.
Alright, so now I'm going to talk about marketing and what it's geared for. Currently, in its state, it is worth $3,000. It's only, you can only get the developer kit right now, but really anyone can buy it as long as you have $3,000. Like, they don't care. But, so yeah, but the thing is, it's not really directed toward consumers just yet, because it's pretty expensive. And they're aware of that, and that's how they want it right now. And so sales are low, but it's expected to only in like the thousands right now. But really, they're still like getting creators and stuff to like do things with it and stuff. So it's still in its infant stage right now. All right. They do have a plan though, eventually to make it under $1,000, but that might not be for like, I don't even know, like a few years, like I don't know, 3 to 5 maybe even. Like it'll be a while, but supposedly there's a roadmap to it, probably to make it more competitive and stuff, and by that time, who knows, hardware might even be even more advanced than it currently is, so it might even be more powerful and more cheaper, who knows. So currently the release is not determined at this moment, and it can be a while for its actual date. For example, the Oculus Rift developed kits came out in like 2013. They didn't like get released until like last year. So that you can skip that video actually. Anyhow, so after seeing the videos of all the other people, what do you think this is actually geared towards? Like, who's going to use this? Technicians, possibly. Really, it's like anyone, honestly. Like
Anyone who has $3,000.
yeah, anyone who has $3,000. Well, I'm saying like in the future when it's like commercially released, like not even like just for like consumers, like it could be like for the education like system. Like this could like totally like.
Yeah, like if you notice on one of the videos, they had they showed people standing around, you know, a holographic, you know, it's like a cadaver basically. So using it as a medical school where you can go and show you parts of the body without actually having to cut up the body. Like let's look at the muscles. You know, so for things like that, for audio even, if you needed to learn how to acoustics or whatever, how acoustics work inside a room, you might be able to have a program that shows you what the room design and how it could be if you put bass traps here, what that might do, or I mean the applications are really limitless to just the imagination of what you can create for it.
Yeah, and another thing is if one person like puts something there, another person as a HoloLens can also see it. So it's they all like work together, so it's actually kind of cool. And like it never leaves too, unless you delete it.
Yeah.
So that's like another thing. But some examples of who are currently using it, or at least in the testing of it, is Volvo. Yeah, that's how they say it. Where you can virtually customize their dream cars in augmented reality. You can choose what car you want, just however you want. Inside your house, apparently, I guess.
Yeah, like you can test it, what color you want your car, what kind of inside you want. If you want to have a sweet ass body kit on it, what that would look
Yeah.
like, something like that.
So now you don't have to like visually see it. So that, you don't have to go to the dealership anymore. Like, so they don't have to have that car in their lot anymore or anything like that. So it minimizes inventory space and reduces the real estate expenses actually for them. So this is a win-win situation for both of them. And then Lowe's also uses it. Yeah, same thing applies in your house. You're looking to buy like furniture or something or kitchenware. You could do that in your house now. Like you just get a visual representation inside your house, and that's pretty groundbreaking because you can actually see if things match or not now. Like
Yeah, you can do complete home remodels through your Hololens before you ever purchase materials and know exactly how it's going to look, which is pretty badass.
So once again, it helps both retailers and customers in that situation. Next, and then okay, and then this is currently what they're doing with Japan Airlines.
Oops.
No. You might have to actually highlight it.
I'm trying.
I don't know.
Maybe Chris needs to do it. God damn it.
I don't know. For some reason, it's not blue. So.
What is this? Last year?
Yeah.
You do it.
Good try. Going back like 10 years right here.
You have to exit from the matrix.
That Lowe's app will be great because when you spend all your money on the HoloLens and you can't afford furniture, you can virtualize it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
My house is nice in my head. Is this it?
Yeah, it's it. You just have to go all the way back for some reason and start at the end.
Okay.
I wanted to invite up on stage two of my colleagues, Loren and Arancha from the HoloLens team, to give you a flavor for the types of apps you're building. Loren?
Thank you, Satya. We have seen the amazing impact of the mobility of experiences and productivity over the past several years. Employees can extend their productivity beyond their desk, to the job site, to the manufacturing floor, to the hospital ward, thanks to the power of cloud computing. But they have never before been able to bring their digital content into their real world. That's what we call mixed reality. This means there are some scenarios that haven't progressed as far as they could have, like professional training and development. So mixed reality has proven to increase the speed and the quality of learning. And with Microsoft HoloLens, employees can experience realistic 3D training at scale, integrated with their existing productivity tools. Now, learning to work with complex machinery that's hard to access presents unique challenges to trainees. For example, no student could bring their own jet engine into the classroom. And it's incredibly expensive for an airline to reserve equipment that should be operational just for training. Companies need flexibility to train their employees at lower costs, but with high quality results. And employees need to be able to weave their training into their workday. My colleague Arancha is going to share the results of a close partnership with Japan Airlines, where we've helped them unlock a new training paradigm. We're going to show you how this works with Microsoft HoloLens and our special camera, which is going to enable all of you to see holograms. Arancha is going to walk you through her day as an engine technician.
Thank you, Lorraine. So let me put on my HoloLens and show you. As you can see, I'm here at my table where my HoloLens sits unlocking a multi-monitor experience. I have my most used productivity tools, so I can see my email, my calendar, the Edge browser, Skype, and a Power BI training report that I'm visualizing in 3D. Now, I have a newly upgraded engine to learn about, and it's time for me to complete my training. But thanks to HoloLens, I don't need to book a training day to go to the hangar weeks in advance. I can just do it as part of my working day. And this saves time and money for my company. Let me show you.
Wherever she is, Arancha just needs her Hololens to learn about the fuel system of this jet engine. She can use a self-contained app to explore all the important components and then learn about each one in context.
Fuel filter. This component plays an essential role in keeping the fuel clean before it passes through the rest of the systems.
Fucking cool.
Now remember, with HoloLens, she can still see the real world. So right now, she could be talking to a teacher or to other students.
I don't need to be tied to my workspace. HoloLens has no cables, which means that I can learn anywhere and at any scale, and I can choose a size and a position that suits my environment. Let me show you. But not only that, I can access parts that would otherwise be very hard to spot. Show fuel pump.
Fuel pump. This is one of the essential components, which is designed to supply the fuel to the system.
So at this manageable size, an employee can learn in a small space, like at their desk or at home. But in real life, this jet engine is an enormous machine with thousands of components. And it's just as important for employees to understand its true scale.
Show full size.
Full size.
Now I can continue to train at the actual scale.
Fuel nozzles. There are a number of nozzles designed to inject the fuel into the combustion chamber.
Safety is a hugely important part of training with machinery. HoloLens not only allows trainees to negotiate that machinery in complete safety, it can also present hazard areas in new, unique ways.
Please be aware of the areas marked as hazardous. In a real-life scenario, these areas must be clear for safety when you start an engine.
Now that I'm aware of the safe areas, we can continue to learn in ways not possible in the real world. This is the throttle control from the cockpit. Now I can easily understand how the fuel system reacts to it.
The fuel passes through each part of the system, being filtered, heated, and pressurized, ensuring optimum engine performance.
In this short amount of time, Arancha was able to switch from her daily work to dive into an important training where she learned about a newly upgraded airplane engine. HoloLens gave her the flexibility to learn in any location, at any scale, and at her own pace.
Training complete.
Any company that needs to train and develop their employees, and any partner who helps companies with professional training has a big opportunity. You will be at the forefront of the next major computing platform. Customers and partners are already underway, as you saw, because this device is commercial ready and the devices are shipping. So if you're ready, talk to your HoloLens rep, order on hololens.com, and have fun. Thank you.
Can you imagine having like a mixing console in front of you that like goes on?
That would be sick.
Dude, yeah. Whenever I was a mechanic, that would have been like amazing to have to learn.
It's like being Tony Stark.
Yeah. Well, almost. That's actually what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a comparison of AR versus VR because I don't believe they're the same thing. They're similar, but I think that there's some distinct differences. Go ahead. So AR augmented reality is basically it's a piece of technology that somehow alters what you're looking at, and it places something within the environment that you actually exist in. and it works by scanning the environment with those cameras that we showed you earlier. And in the case of the HoloLens, that information onto it projects the information on the inside of the lens. So it's not an actual hologram that's actually appearing on a table. It's making it look like it's appearing on the table, but what you're seeing is being told to you through the veil of the lenses. And it's actually a lot like Pokemon Go. That was an augmented reality game where, you know, if you had the AR thing on, you actually had to look at the Pokemon where it was, wherever you were, and then throw the Pokeballs at it. So that was the analogy that I drew to that, which was, there it is. Anyone get a Dragonite? No.
I have not seen a Dragonite.
No, me neither. I think this was photoshopped.
Yeah, it had to be.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen a Dragonite.
So this is a good simple application of looking through the HoloLens. Like, this is kind of what Chris was talking about. Was instead of actually having a television, you can pop on your HoloLens and tell it you want your TV to be here, and then select what you want, and it's obviously going to be able to recognize your gestures as far as selection goes. Go ahead. So this was another system that I know Microsoft had tried early on, but I haven't heard anything of it lately, and that was AR through projection, which is kind of what you guys were talking about, where they had talked about having a projector that would either work in conjunction with your television or replace your television, and what it would essentially do is not only like have a screen, but it would kind of create like a wallpaper that would be projected on your wall that would be relevant to what the movie was that you were watching. Like, for instance, if you were watching Mad Max, you might be sitting in like a desert scene or something like that. And then they also exhibited, I forget exactly what the name of the technology was, where basically they could project it and somehow the projector would pick up your movements and you could interact with an image on the wall. And the reason why I brought this up is because I think one of the biggest important things about, one of the biggest differences between VR and AR is that AR is looking for a shareable experience, whereas VR is generally geared toward one person in one world playing a game or whatever. AR is more about being able for all of us to view something in the real world. Go ahead. Go to the next one. So why it's not VR? Is so AR changes your real world environment, whereas and you have to be physically in. Like, if we were to load up a program if we all had HoloLenses and we load up a program, it would interact differently with this room than it would a different room, because they're literally different rooms. It all depends on where you are. So one experience is not going to be the same to another one. Whereas in virtual reality, you completely do away with the room pretty much, and you go somewhere completely different. So it's kind of like a fantasy. And that also means that the same VR experience can be had anywhere. You're not restricted by a room. So you can literally be sitting on a plane, but feel like you're, rock climbing or whatever. Whereas in VR, as of right, that's not something that they're kind of gearing it towards. Go ahead and, yeah, so this is, I thought this looked really cool. This is a Crytek game that's being developed. Have you seen this one? No, apparently you're a rock climber, and it's a virtual reality game, and you're supposed to climb up. So what's happening in this is a digital hand, this is a digital world, and it's meant for one single person to be able to play this game. And I assume you were climbing to the top of a mountain. Go to the next slide. Whereas this is actually something Chris showed me, where this is a game of Lemmings. Did you guys ever play Lemmings back in the day? No? Damn, I'm old. So Lemmings was a game where you had these little guys, lemmings, and they would march in a straight line, but there was death or destruction in front of them. So you had to alter certain lemmings to get them to get to a goal. And basically what this video shows, if you just click on it, it should work, yeah.
I was just waiting for you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So this guy's gonna select it, and you'll see, so it's mapped out his room, and it's created the obstacle course. This is his goal. That's just interactables, and then this is where the lemmings are coming out of. So now he's got to select the lemmings. Can you scoot forward a little bit? Huh? Just go forward in the video a little bit, because it's gonna take him a while. So now he made this one move him this way, so now they're walking down this way on his couch. And then he's gonna make this guy build a bridge, and he's gonna make him turn it. Anyway, eventually go toward the end of the video. Yeah, see, now they're walking across the table. Hopefully they don't fall.
Yeah, I want to see what happens when they fall.
No.
I mean,
Come on.
I just want to see if it falls.
He's gonna die. Oh, there he goes. Oh, there he goes. I guess it'd be kind of cool if they like splatted on the ground and like they stayed there. So he's getting him to the goal right now. But as you can see, whereas with this gaming experience, it's specific to this room in this level in this game. Whereas if this was a virtual reality experience, what was in his room would have no relevance. The fact that there's a coffee table in between the start and the goal makes no difference. You see what I'm saying? Whereas in this game it did. It saw that there was a coffee table, decided to add that as an object within the game. So that's one of the biggest differences with the gaming and the AR and VR.
Where do they go?
They go to, I don't know, Lemming Heaven.
Is that it?
Do you guys really not play this game?
I wasn't even born yet.
Dude. Alright, that's the, yeah. So anyway, so you can see that there is a difference. Like that's not an experience you would have in a virtual reality game. I guess you could, if it mapped out the couch and everything like that, but it's not something that would be desirable, because in VR you can really go anywhere you want. So why would you want to be in your living room? Go ahead, next one. Oh, did I put two?
Wait, no.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so this was what I was thinking of. Was I was kind of focusing on thinking really far ahead in what could possibly replace AR in the future. And I was thinking of like holograms, because even though they call them holograms in AR, they're not real holograms. They're not freestanding light objects that we can all see. You're restricted by the fact that you have to have the object on your face that can see them. So you're restricted by the fact that, you know, we, four of us could be wearing HoloLenses and having this really amazing experience, but you guys would have no idea what we're doing or what we're seeing, because those aren't freestanding holograms. So I thought the future would be something like what Tony Stark could do with freestanding holograms, or Leia inside of R2-D2. And that would be a, you know, completely shareable experience, and, you know, we could interact with them, and then, you know, Trevor could, he wouldn't even have to be here. He could be at his house just lecturing us. Right? Sounds like a dream, right?
I want to be there right now.
Yeah. But but you can go ahead and go to the next slide. So the thing about holograms is they don't exist. They just, I was looking, because I swore when we started this project, I was like, there's someone that's been developing something that's getting close to what, you know, Leia was coming out of R2-D2, but there's nothing right now. Because the thing about physics is you can't change the laws of physics, and light has to have something to reflect off of. So you can't literally just have freestanding light. It doesn't work that way. It has to reflect off of something. So I thought that they had something where like they were shooting light at each other and it was freestanding, but it doesn't exist. Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what if they had like in certain corners around the house, like there's different checkpoints where.
Possibly.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that'd be rad.
Pretty much focused in whatever place.
Right.
Just
Yeah, that'd be rad, and who knows, in 5 years we could see something like that, but as of right now it just doesn't exist. The closest they came, I read, was they were actually projecting things onto, like, they had like steam or smoke, and they would project it onto that.
Yeah, they make any type of like vapor, and they just put barium nitrate in it, which is a metallic.
Oh, there you go.
It's reflective, and that's like basically what's used for that.
Right, and that would create, but it's still the illusion of a hologram. It's not like a real hologram. Because a real hologram, as according to the movies, is freestanding light, which doesn't really exist.
Is that what they use for Tupac?
Well, that's funny. Go ahead. Go to the next slide. But what about Tupac? Go ahead. It was actually a trick. So it's actually an old trick. This was used in video game cabinets back in the 1950s. This was just a really, really modern version of that same illusion. And so basically what happened was, as you can see from the diagram, they projected the performance of Tupac onto this screen, which then bounced up onto a mirror, which was see-through, so you could still see Snoop Dogg standing next to him. And then we, the audience, because of the angles and calculations that are beyond me, it looked like he was standing right next to Snoop Dogg during the performance. So if Snoop had come too close, he would have ruined the illusion, because he would have either hit the screen or he would have gotten a weird size and it just wouldn't have looked right. or if anything had gotten in the way of the projection, it would have ruined the illusion. But it was very convincing. I watched a couple videos of that, man. That looked real.
There's a video game called Time Traveler.
Yes, is that the cowboy one?
Yeah.
I was thinking about that game. I couldn't remember the name of it, but this is old technology.
Hologram Time Traveler. That shit is so
Yeah, it
sick.
was, dude. It was hard too.
Yeah.
But essentially it used the same kind of thing. There's another game that I'm trying to remember which one it was. Oh, it was Tron. There was the Tron game, I think, used a similar thing where it would have on the screen would be different things, and then it would project an image, so it gave it like this 3D effect. It was really cool. So the Tupac thing was an illusion. Unfortunately, it's not a real freestanding hologram. Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to break your heart. Have you seen the?
Was it really Tupac?
Yeah, yeah, I know, right? Is there any more? Or is that the last one? I forget. Oh, okay. So, so I do think that as of right now, because I don't think, according to physics, real hologram technology is going to be possible, that it's looking like AR really is going to be the wave of the future. And I do agree with Chris in saying that I think that this has the most practical application of anything, because it's the closest we're going to get to, like I said, a shareable experience. Because if you're doing, I mean, I guess you could have a shareable experience with VR as well, but, you know, again, it would be kind of like in an alternate place, whereas this is something that we can utilize in real time, project onto real objects, and, you know, look and interact with. So.
Yeah, like if you see this picture on the left, he's looking at he's watching a holographic TV. He's got like a recipe book, just a digital recipe book, just hanging out on his spice cabinet. So if he wants to make something, he just clicks on that. He has a 3D model of the weekday forecast just sitting on his table. I mean, that's some pretty cool stuff, right?
But he lives in Maui.
But he lives in Maui, so that's why he can afford.
Yeah, that's why he's got the HoloLens. and you know, like, and just like with everything is like, you know, we now have AR devices in our pocket that can do very similar things, like looking through a window. And so who knows, in just a few years, we could see these things like, you know, installed in glasses and stuff like that we can all afford and all interact with. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think that's the last one. Is there any questions? Any comments?
Yes, that's
How
Yeah.
are they like? How are they powered? Like, are they?
It's like a computer.
Oh, okay.
Except for, unlike a computer, they have an HPU also, so it's like a extra like part that they had to get because it takes a lot of processing power. So there's a.
they got some really small, sick ass batteries in there that hold a lot of charge.
Yeah, it's just a really small, powerful computer.
Oh, and didn't someone just start to develop? They're getting really close to wireless charging, power transfer.
Oh, yeah, they have
Yeah, my phone does it.
Yeah.
No. I mean, like where you don't have to touch anything. Your phone could just be charging because we have a charging thing in the room.
I think Tesla was working on that.
Was it Tesla? Nikolai
Yeah,
Tesla?
pretty
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that super little pad thing. Though.
Yeah. No, but that's
Any,
what I was, yeah.
any other questions about Microsoft HoloLens and how freaking sweet they are?
So what do you think the difference is between augmented reality and mixed reality?
I think mixed reality is the Microsoft word.
Yes.
I
So
think they're trying to brand
why
it.
do you think they're calling it mixed reality and not augmented reality?
So it's
Because they can pan.
Because yeah,
Yeah.
augmented reality is, you know, everybody kind of already has augmented,
It's
but
Pokemon
and
Yeah.
Pocket Monsters.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, I think, you know, as far as just the name mixed reality, like they said, I think that's just Microsoft like no, we're not doing, you know, we're doing something our own way. It's mixed.
It's branding, yeah.
integrated.
So what do you think, like if you go and experience Mace's setup, the audio is part of the room,
Mm-hmm.
but the visual is virtual.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that's halfway between
Yeah, I would say
virtual
so.
and augmented?
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Also, I mean, that brings up another good point is that, like, you know, it would, because again, like I was really focusing on like the whole shared experience idea and stuff like that. And with the audio being actually in the room, you know, functioning and making noise, that would be a better way to have it be done as opposed to on your ears. Because then again, it's.
But the way these work, as we've said before, if everybody has a HoloLens, then everybody's seeing the exact same stuff, right? Well, each HoloLens has its own spatial sound headphones built in. So that way, no matter where I'm standing, if we have a hologram right here, you know, I mean, it still works the same way. We're not pissing everybody off with a lot of sound in the room, but we each can hear sound that'll change as we each do our own motions. So it's all. The thing with this is that it's integrated. It's built in. The sounds, you don't need external headphones that cover your ears. You don't need speakers out in the room. It's built in and it's integrated as part of the system. And I don't know. I don't think any of the VR stuff does that. I think you need to get
There is one coming out, and Microsoft is making it. It's like the baby version to this, and it's like only $300. So, and it can do all the voice stuff that the HoloLens does, and it's integrated instead of having the outside sensors. And you only need a mid-range PC because the specs are lower. So that's why it's only like $300 too.
Nice.
So they're making like a baby version of it to like get people used to the functions of it, and then you can go to HoloLens like no problem afterwards.
The Holo monocle.
And just think, like one day you might be able to play holographic instruments on, for people. Get up there, a holographic, tape deck or DJ deck or whatever, some holographic drums.
You want to do that right now? Because I got that.
Boom. Any more questions, comments? Anything? No?
Nice.
All right, thank you.
So the rest of the night is lap